Yeah.
Hey, friends. We're back.
Well, we're here
We're
in real
here.
time.
Yes, we are A Thousand Eyes on One. I'm Tanya,
Nikki,
and
welcome.
tonight we are back to talk about the season finale of The Wheel of Time. Season 1, Episode 8, The Eye of the World. We've reached the end of Wheel of Time.
I'm in denial, dude.
Yeah,
I couldn't rewatch until today. I watched it Thursday, and I think there was just I was just so tired. But today I was like really registering how much actually went down in this episode.
yeah, a lot.
Wow. You know, so it was a
I
lot.
on my first watch, I went to bed like right after and had stress dreams all night.
uh,
It
yeah.
was so overall, your thoughts? I thought it was really great. I thought they wrapped things up pretty well,
Hmm.
considering. I mean, it felt like the beginning.
Right. I have maybe an unpopular opinion, I suppose. I watched it and I've watched it a couple times since, and I felt a little underwhelmed. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe I wanted more, but I do feel like if this was the prologue, yes, I'm ready for what comes next. That's how I'm treating it. Like this is a prologue
So I
and
get
things
what
are
you
gonna go
mean.
in place. Yeah.
I actually do get what you mean because all right, so I guess just skipping to the very end. When Moraine says, I fear this was not the last battle, it's the
Hmm.
first.
Hmm.
That's what I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I felt it was a little bit anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But then again, I was like, okay, no, these 8 episodes were just the beginning. We haven't
Yeah.
even scratched the surface of the story. And when you consider that it's a 15-book series,
I know.
yeah,
There's so much
we
ground to cover.
definitely have not
Yeah.
even scratched the surface.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I didn't like it. I did like it. I absolutely enjoyed it. Um, I mean, I think I maybe just wanted more time in different places, but I thought that as a way of like, summarily tying a bow around this first season,
Mhm.
it did what it needed to.
We were wrong about Tom Maryland coming back,
Well, I'm still upset. Bring him back in the second season. He's not dead. Off-screen death's
and we're
not bad.
also wrong about Child Valdo not coming back. When I saw him
Yeah,
in the recap, I mean, the recap was more so about Egwene and Perrin, but
right.
because he was in it, I had like this like little glimmer of hope that he'd turn up somehow. But it was a lot to fit in. There was a lot to happen.
Yeah, I still put my money on him for making an appearance. Tom and Child Valda, season 2, episode 1.
Cross our fingers. So we finally meet Luz Theron before he broke the world, back when there were male Aes Sedai.
That was exciting for me. That's why it says men used to be Aes Sedai. Like that was a perfect balance between the two.
Hmm.
Um,
That actor was so handsome.
yeah,
I was like,
yes,
okay,
he was. I like the
Luz
costumes in
Theron.
that scene too. In that scene too.
Yeah. I did see. So he's a father. Do we know who his child is? Is that something that's going to be important later? I have no idea. And do we know who the mother is? I don't know. These are things that I don't know if
Yeah,
they're important
I
or
was.
not.
Yeah, and you
But
know
they
what? I was
showed us, so
honestly,
feel like
I
it
was
must be.
confused. I was confused in the beginning because it wasn't until I watched today that I realized that they were not a couple. I thought that they were a
Right.
couple,
That's
and
what I thought
like,
at
and it
first.
was just kind of like, oh, well, you're taking care of the baby, blah blah blah. But they're coming to have like, listen, I'm in charge. I run shit. It's not gonna fly. Sorry, bro. Take care of the baby. We'll talk about this. There's nothing else to talk about, but we'll talk about this. I didn't realize until I watched today that I was like, oh, wait a second. No, that's not her baby. That's his
Yeah,
baby, I think.
I think so too. I think so too. But yeah, at first I thought it was just a couple, and then I was like, oh no, that's Luz Theron. And then I was like, oh, Luz Theron and who? And then we see that's the former Amerlin seat of 3,000 years
Latra.
ago. Hmm?
I didn't write down her whole name. I just wrote down Matcha. Yeah. Wait, so can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who's Ishmael?
Ishmael, I think, is one of the Forsaken.
One of the Forsaken. Okay. Because I was like, I didn't realize that Luz Theron was the one who had, or Luz Theron Telamon, I wrote down his whole name, was the one, was a dragon who had broken the world. I thought that for some reason I was looking for this Ishmael, but okay,
No,
that
I think
clarifies.
Ishmael is one of the Forsaken, somebody who follows the Dark One.
Hmm.
Um, what I did wonder though, if Lewis Theron is also a dragon reborn, I don't know who the original dragon is.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But Lewis Theron is the one apparently who broke the world.
Well, he was so ambitious, you know. It was one of those situations where you're like, maybe gave me a little bit of Boromir. Oh, it is a
Hmm.
gift, right? Um, but it just seemed that, she told him, like, this is about what you want. This is not about what the world. Just because the opportunity has presented itself doesn't mean that it's a true opportunity. And
Hmm.
this is what the risk is. Um, and, he was, for his baby, he was going to take any risk. But it just seemed it's like I think it was a really good setup to just see what his motivations were,
Right.
to understand like the way that the void, like the Dark One, speaks to someone who has the power to make these changes. And I think it was a really good setup for like everything that Rand does coming up next, because
Yeah,
you had
and
that
like you said,
contrast.
yeah, like you said, he was ambitious. Perhaps we don't know him well enough yet, but perhaps some of it was ego driven. Perhaps not. I don't know. We're going off of a very short scene,
Yeah, I mean, how much everybody must be gassing you up when you're the Dragon Reborn.
right? And obviously, he was very powerful, and he did succeed in trapping the Dark One. It's just
Hmm.
he allowed the one power to be tainted in
Hmm.
doing so, and we know that he later goes on to kill his whole family. See, I thought for some reason he was like a king, but maybe I have it confused with something else. Because
I
I
don't know.
remember thinking they said like he killed his court and his family.
Oh,
So I thought that he was a king. And in the animated short from a while back, I'm gonna rewatch the animated shorts that I've seen,
oh, I
and
stopped
what
watching them. I need to watch them all together.
I haven't watched them all. I'll rewatch the ones that I did watch, and then I'll watch the ones that I haven't seen yet, and we can talk about
Hmm.
those another time. But I, oops,
Well, hello, the Schwartzes.
what that I don't know what that yes was an answer to. That he was a king, or that he killed his court, or what? I don't know.
Word, I'm not sure either.
Okay, the shorts. Could you let us know what you were answering yes to? Um, yeah. So anyway, he did succeed, right? Like
Mhm.
he trapped the Dark One and his Forsaken and handle all those things. Okay,
Mhm.
the short said to both. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. I guess I didn't know that he was an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, very surprised to find that out. But how cool was it to see that world that they were living in?
He was considered a lord, a person of importance, so he would have had some sort of court, but not a king or royalty.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is giving us some insight into who Luz Theron is because we don't actually know. Um,
Aw,
hey, Sarah.
thanks for joining.
So let's get into the episode. We see the Blight, which is disgusting. It's a very disgusting place with dead bodies. It looks like it just eats you up.
Hmm.
You fall asleep and it eats you. Um, do Rand's dream. Like, let's just go straight into it. Uh, how did you feel when you saw that sword go through Moiraine's head?
I knew it was a dream. I knew it was a dream within a dream.
I suspected it was a dream because I was just like, no way.
For me, it was too early in the pacing of the episode, and I felt like she still had a couple reveals
Mm.
ahead. So I didn't believe, but I knew that they're getting closer to his power, so um, he's gonna have a stronger, I don't know, connection.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it and I gasped. But then I was like, no, this has to be a dream. And then when Rand is like, this is a dream, and he's like, so what
Hmm.
if it is? Or he said, no, he said, doesn't matter, or something like that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
thank God it's a dream.
yeah. It was nice to put a face to the Dark One and to like finally see him materialize from that like weird
He,
mask thing.
yeah, he looked like he was about to conduct an orchestra, didn't he?
Hold on, I'm reading comments. Try this look back at it. Yeah. Yeah, he was just like, I don't know. He struck me as just very business-like. He's like very corporate. A hint of the time from, things that were destroyed or like because like I said, that's what I was saying before, is that you look out of the window and you see that this is like a very futuristic, this is a very progressive society.
Hmm.
They've got all the technological advances, and the Amaryllis warns about his, doing what he's doing, throwing them
Set us
back
back a
thousands of
thousand
years,
years. Yeah.
right? Um, and so it looked like he was trying to connect to him as whoever he was when he last saw him, because
Hmm.
Rand keeps thinking that he is a unique individual, not like he is, this is his turn in the wheel. He came into this body, but he's still that.
Yeah.
Which makes me. I mean, I feel like everything just has me asking more questions.
Always.
Like and that's what I like about this series. Well, the show so far in the series when I read it. More questions. More questions.
What did you think about the things that Luz Theron was? No, I'm sorry, that the Dark One was saying to Rand. He seemed almost disappointed that it was Rand, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like he was like, wait a second, don't you know who you are? Don't you know what I am? Don't you know what you're up against? Like, who is like you really like have no like, because he asked him, he was like, have you even touched it? But
Right.
he had no connection to how important he was, really,
Hmm.
because he was very much still a believer that, he's a little shepherd's boy and that Tam's his dad. Get the line
Right.
about family, about finally meeting once again. Yes, I did catch that part.
Yes. 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 So he says to him, we finally meet again, or whatever it was, however he worded it.
Hmm.
And yeah, it almost seemed like he looked at Rand as an unworthy opponent, almost.
Yeah,
Like last time you had a gang of 99, and they were more powerful than whatever she is, and this guy doesn't even know that that's not his real dad. Like, what is happening right
yeah.
now?
Who
Like,
is
this
it?
is,
Yeah,
I've been gearing up for this. I've been locked up all this time, gearing up to do this fight, and
yeah. And you
here
don't
we
even know
are,
who you
and you don't
really
even know who
are.
you are. You've never even touched the power. Like, this isn't even a
Yeah,
fight.
so cool.
It's like
I
a
was like,
knight, a
I
knight
remember
against a
he's like he's
baby.
calling him out. He like really
Yeah,
called him out on
he dragged the
everything.
shit out of him.
Cheers to Dragon. We're here for it.
um, the comment, like, you really came here like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they still have not explained the significance of Rand's parents. I'm waiting for that.
Well, we know his father's been dead a long time. I'm assuming he must have died in that war that his mother
Hmm.
was fighting in. Um, yeah, I wonder if there is significance uh, behind him being an Ileman. Because, I mean, now
There's
we know
that
that's
too,
what he is.
right? That and the
Because we
fact that
haven't learned
he's
a
like
lot. Uh,
asking about the sword too.
yeah, they haven't given
He's
us the
like,
background on the Heron Mark sword. We did not get to see Tam again, which I was hoping
mhm,
we would. They haven't given us the significance of the Heron Mark and like what it means.
mhm.
Um,
But the Dark One recognizes it, and he's like, "Wait, where did you get that?" Which, once again, more questions. More questions.
I
That's
know,
all I
but yeah,
got.
it's this season did almost feel almost like a prologue, right?
Yeah.
It just like opened up so many things. William S says hopefully they'll cover the prophecies. I hope they do. We haven't really gotten into. There's just so many things we haven't scratched the surface of. We haven't actually heard the prophecy, right?
No.
No.
We just know, like I think the Dark One says that Maureen was there. She saw, but that's it. They don't say exactly what. Oh no, not so Dark One. It's what's his name? Our homeboy, Pat
Right. Oh,
later on
Pat and
in
Fane's
episode.
evil ass. we
Mm-hmm.
get to him. I thought the scene between Lan and Nynaeve was really sweet.
Aw.
He is so in love with her, and I think it's really sweet. Um, if she does go on to become an Aes Sedai, he can't be her warder.
Nope.
And
He's like, I'll be jealous, but I'll be okay if you're happy with him.
yeah, gosh, what is that dynamic like? Like, not only do you have, like, say, a wife, but she's an Aes Sedai,
Yeah.
and then you're not even her warder. Oh, this must be about the prophecy. If
Mm-hmm.
they had, it would have given Rand away much earlier to non-readers. Yeah, see, that's the thing
Oh
too. Is
yeah.
like I knew it was gonna be Rand because I'd read the first 3 books. So because they were doing the whole which one is the dragon thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that makes sense that they couldn't really get into the prophecy too much. Um
What
yeah,
was
but
the
I
name
mean
of the book again? I mean, there, Eraton. It just mentioned the name of the book, and I know we kind of touched on it briefly when we were asking more questions. I can't remember what
the
it's called.
something
You know?
cycle, I forgot because I had it written down,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not here anymore.
Yeah.
Something cycle, I forgot. If somebody can tell us in the comments, that'd be great. So this visit to the Carathian
Baratheon.
cycle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How
The
could we forget
Carathian
that? It
cycle.
rhymes with Baratheon. We
Like
love prophecy.
well, yesterday was Christmas. We're recovering.
Are we ever?
Happy first day of Kwanzaa. Happy
Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Boxing Day.
happy Boxing
Happy
Day.
Kwanzaa. Happy Brooklyn.
Yeah. Just let them finish. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Siren's done. um Joyous
Yeah.
Festivus. So, do you want to talk about Nynaeve and Egwene listening to the wind and comparing it to the Night of Beltane? I mean, we knew that.
Imagine if my windows were open.
Oh my god, we knew that Trollocs were coming anyway, but we didn't
Mm.
when they were listening to the wind before. We didn't get as viewers to hear what they were hearing, and this time is the
Right.
first time that we've gotten to hear rather what they're hearing. And it was interesting to me that Nynaeve has not been able to hear anything since she first channeled, but Egwene
Hmm.
still can, and I wonder Egwene, sorry, she still can, and I wonder what that means too.
I don't know. I don't know why she's cut off from that aspect of herself. It didn't make sense to me. Like, is she just that powerful of a channeler that, you know, it's like a sensory overload?
Because
I
I
don't know.
thought her listening to the wind was like channeling light.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I thought was happening.
It's a
Um,
different skill set,
yeah.
apparently.
So I wonder why she can't anymore since she channeled. She's for some reason she's not the same, but Egwene still could, and she
Hmm.
channeled as well.
But
So
her
what?
little rinky dink channel. Pew,
Pew
pew, 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 pew.
pew.
No. Yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like Nanny's channeling is just way more encompassing. So I don't know. I wish I did know. Like, I'm glad that I have enough time, unless that rumor about season 2 dropping in February is true, which I doubt.
That would be
Um,
crazy, but I would
yeah,
welcome it.
I would absolutely welcome. I doubt it for real, but I'm here if that's what's up. But now I'm glad I have enough time to like read the first couple.
When they linked up during the battle in the Gap, did you notice her strand of the Swords was much brighter? Yes, I noticed it
Yeah.
immediately, and I also noticed that what was the lady's name? I can't remember her name. I should have written it down. Um, she like jerked when she tapped into Nynaeve's power.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, yeah, she like jerked, and it was way brighter, and we also really saw from that. I mean, that's kind of skipping ahead. Hi, Heidi. We also saw that Nynaeve and Egwene were so much stronger than the other women channeling
Oh
with her.
yeah. What
their
was
lights were brighter and they took longer to burn out. But we can talk
mhm.
about that scene in a minute. Let's talk about Min, you know, having the sight, as they call it. It it seems really devastating because Min is seeing these things and doesn't even know when they're gonna happen. It could She
Yeah.
saw something and then it's like,
Like, is this
like,
gonna is this 5 minutes from now? Is this
is this
25
20
years from
years?
now? You don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that must be so distressing.
But
And
she knew to get out.
oh yeah, I was dying. I was like, "Oh, she's getting the hell up out of
And
there."
she's like, wait a second, these are all signs that point to evacuate, clearly.
Yeah, she was smart to get away. But it's like, she has the sight and it didn't give her, I mean, gave her barely enough time because she sees first Nynaeve burning out, which she probably doesn't even know what's happening. It's just Nynaeve's face is
Hmm.
like burning up. And then you see the soldiers dying. And
Yeah.
then suddenly the bells start. So it's like not even enough of a head start to really do anything about it. And then what do you
Hmm.
tell them? Hi, I just had a vision of your eyes burning out of your skull. I'm
Yeah,
gonna run
exactly.
now.
I suggest you do too.
Right.
Bye. I can't tell the secrets. It doesn't belong to you. This is like, she's letting them know that this is not a blessing. Having the sight is not something that
No, it's not a
that,
blessing.
it's absolutely an inconvenience and a curse at the very least.
Yeah, and I felt for Nynaeve. I've been complaining about how stubborn she is because I felt for her, but she also, like, her wanting to just hurry up and leave again and saying, I'm supposed to bring the four of you home. I'm waiting for her to accept that that is not happening.
Yeah, me too.
Like, Nynaeve, I know that's what you wanted to do, but it's not happening. The
You
You
gotta
have
adjust
to
your
change
battle
the
plan,
goal.
girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, William has pointed out telling people what she sees doesn't help either because it still happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. So it's like, what is even the
So they can't
point?
change it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't change it. It's just I know. It's awful. But yeah, and Nynaeve, I want Nynaeve to realign her goals, like the goal can't be getting them home safely anymore. It's not gonna happen. Like that's
No.
done. Matt's gone, Rand's gone.
Yep.
You're in a city that's about to be attacked by Trollocs again. You gotta let that one go, sis.
It
You
was so
gotta
crazy to me though, because Egwene was like, "Well, you know what?" She's like, "Well, we're here, so what are we gonna do?" And Nynaeve is still thinking of. I'm like, "No, you're gonna fight or you're gonna flee. Like, those are your only options. Like, you can't go continuing on the way that you've been thinking at all."
no. And at this point, you know that you guys are important to this.
Yeah.
You know you're important, so you have to do something. We find out that there are
Hmm.
dark friends inside Shinar.
And
Shinar?
so casually, he's like, "Oh, there must have been dark friends." Like, what? You don't have like people who are on the lookout for dark friends? Like, what's your screening process?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I imagine dark friends operate in secret. Oh, we have a message from Eritan. Remember, she believes this was it. This was the end of the journey.
Right.
Right, she does, and I think that she needs to think bigger. I think she needs to think bigger
Mhm.
because, they
But
say
even if it isn't, but even if it is the end of the journey, like where's your, like take a stand. I feel like I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted her to be like, well, fuck it, we're going out then. This is how we're gonna do it. But she was still like,
I gotta get you guys home to your mom and dad. It's like, sis, we're in a war for the
yeah,
world, and it's
yeah,
starting now. And you
yeah,
have a power. That's another thing. You have this power. You brought back a room full of dead people
yeah.
or almost dead people,
Hmm.
you have this huge power. What makes you think that you're not needed right now and that you should just get the kids home? Let it go.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so dark. There are dark friends inside of Shinar, and obviously they operate in secret because anybody finds out you're a dark friend, I imagine they'll try to
yeah,
kill you. I would
yeah. Of
hope.
course.
Um, and this discussion about Taran's Gap will not hold. Did you think the Lord was ready to just die with the city? Because that was what I got from his sister repeating Tarwin's Gap will not hold and him just like
Yeah,
continuing on with the plan.
it reminded me of John and Sansa before the Battle of the Bastards.
We need more men.
But I
We
was,
don't
I,
have
I
any
was
more
just like, what is
men.
he doing? I felt like he was just trying to distinguish himself at first. I was like, well, either he knows that this is a battle that they can't win, or this is his opportunity to distinguish himself from his ancestors, especially when he was like refusing to wear the armor. I
His
was like, well,
father's armor.
if everybody else says that it's, like wear this,
Maybe
you'll
there's
be
magic
okay.
in like maybe there's magic
But
in that armor. Put that shit on. Like clearly something
exactly,
about it works. Like maybe
yeah,
you think you have some newfangled material, but like the old stuff works.
yes. And so
I
I was
think
very amazed by that he didn't want to just like go through. But then I was like, well, maybe there's something else that's going on.
so. I got the impression that he did not think they would win and
Hmm.
that he regretted not listening to his sister. Well, he even says that he should have
Yeah,
listened
he
to
did.
her. He did
I
say
felt
he
that
should
was a
have
little
listened
bit
to her.
patronizing.
Well, because I mean, it's like, yeah, too little, too late now. But I
Yeah.
think no, I think although he said it just the one time, like I should have listened to you, and it seemed kind of casual. I think he was deeply regretful.
Stars de Soul said, De Soul says he was punching out his time card. So I had that was one aspect of it, but on the other hand, I was like, well, maybe he knows, maybe he's talking, I don't know, maybe he's talking to men, who knows, but maybe he knows that this is a battle they're not going to win, and his one purpose is to make sure this thing is executed, right? Like it's like his this is his final mission before he takes the cyanide pill. He knows that what if the city is falling, that this thing here needs to be, taken out of the city and gotten to wherever it needs to go, and that's where his focus was on.
See,
Because when he tells his warriors, like his I want to call them his bannermen, like what they're supposed to do, he's
yeah,
like, "This, you know what needs to be done." And I'm like,
make them
"Oh
pay for
shit,
each step with blood.
yeah,
Bars. He had a lot of
yep."
bars. No, I took it as he was regretful. It's too late now to get help. You're sending the messengers out, so hopefully some help will come. But I fucked up. I should have listened. And the least I can do is die and take some Trollocs with me.
That's what I want to know. I was like, was that his stance, or was it here? Okay, well, as long as we get this thing out, I'm willing to die because this is the end.
Because
But I mean,
I
but
think
if you've practicing your whole life or gearing up your whole life for the final battle and it's finally here, you're not expecting to survive it. You're like, well, fuck it. That's what we're gonna do.
true. But I no, I yeah, I just got the impression that it's just too late and he's hoping to well, he said he was hoping to hold them as long as he could.
Yeah.
And because at that point that's all he could really do. And I think he was regretful for his pride, and remember when Moraine first gets there
Hmm.
and he's kind of like, oh, what are you doing here? We've been holding this, all for thousands of years.
They call him a fluffer.
He knew he was the fluffer, but he was determined to be the flufferist. Oh man. Well,
Huh.
whatever your job is, you do it to the
You do
best
it
of your
well.
ability, right?
Exactly. Do it well or don't do it at all.
Exactly. Exactly. He did not wear his father's armor, and that was unfortunate. I thought it was really cool though that his sister chose to wear the armor later.
Hmm.
Um, can we pivot a little bit and talk about Rand's memories? Rand's memories?
Oh, you mean the Westworld sequence where they pause where they
Yeah.
pause everything to upload new
Yeah, I
information?
should say his memories and his possible future, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna say about Rand that throughout this episode, we keep seeing that he's gonna do the right thing. That
Mhm.
he's like almost incorruptible. Like the fact that he ends that vision, like the first dream, by ramming the sword into his guts. Um, and then
Yeah,
you
he
see
wants no
this,
parts of
he's
the
looking
Dark One.
around. Yeah, he doesn't, and I think that's really noble of him. I don't know if I can't say that I expected him to like get a little bit loosey goosey with his morals or whatever, but um, I don't know that I expected him to hold under such pressure
Yeah.
because everybody else would have folded. Well, not everybody else. Matt
Matt.
would have folded. Egwene, I feel like would have been like she would have been fine. Actually, well, speaking of Egwene, but we'll go back to that. Yeah, he's like he comes into the perfect vision of what he wants from his life. he's like presented with everything he wants, because he says very early in I think the first or the second episode that all he wants to do, he comes up to this spot and he imagines what it's like to have a family and to be with Egwene and all that kind of stuff. And it's very cute, but you know that it just everything about it feels off, and he's picking up on it too, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, that was really smart of him to try to test Egwene. But you're dealing with the dark one here.
Yeah, like he
Like
knows everything.
he knows everything. It's very
Like
creepy.
he knew your parents' name in the dream that you had, and I
And
was like, oh,
and
is
he
this a
knows about
test?
your real parents,
Yeah,
not just your adoptive parents. Like he knows
he
this much
called you
about
a
you.
fool. Yeah, no, it
You
was
know what?
crazy.
You know what kind of made me laugh when when he when Egwene says what it is that they carved into the tree. I
Hmm.
was like, God, that must have taken forever.
That's what I thought too.
Like she
I don't
said
know
the
if you've
first
ever
part and then
carved,
kept going and
and
kept
they
going. I
kept.
was like, what the hell? You guys are writing whole sentences, not initials.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever carved anything into a tree before, but I have, and it takes a long time. Like unless they had, maybe they were using very like Valerian steel, they were just like
They had
or shard
lightsabers.
blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's a
Hey,
long ass
Justin.
sentence. Everybody must know where this tree is. Everyone must know
It's
their
a
stuff.
huge,
What's
wide
up?
tree.
Ah,
What did
yeah.
you okay, what was your reaction when Moraine shot her one power daggers at the dark one and he turned them around and stilled her?
I couldn't believe it. I was in a little bit of shock. Although I thought that I was like, wait, what did she think she was doing? Does she not know who this is? Like, and he already told us that she's not strong enough to come for him.
Yeah,
So,
I think it was just instinct, you know?
what do you mean Matt isn't Matt yet? Hold on, did they really go? Hold on, what's gonna happen? They really did. They really did.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
just to
you
get
know.
him as like a little like a part of a montage.
Oh, yeah, to quickly talk about Matt, just real quick. Was that the White Tower he was heading back to?
I don't know if that was the White Tower or if that was the city of the shadowy
Shadar
city. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if where he was heading to. I thought he was going to the White Tower, and then I wondered why he would do that. And if it's Shadar, well, we know why he'd do that. It's probably still part of him and calling to him. The darkness.
I'm just laughing at the comments because it's really funny to have like interaction while we're doing this. Keep your spoilers to yourself. You guys know the rules. Yeah.
So yeah, Moiraine. I think it was instinct for her to try to shoot some, daggers. Uh,
Hmm.
she wasn't expecting. I mean, who's expecting anything? She's never met the Dark One. What do you go in? Oh, it was Tarvalon. So is he going to the
Oh.
White Tower?
Hmm. Well, we know his ass is gonna get found because they're on the lookout for him.
They sure are. Oh yeah, we didn't get to see our friend Leandrin again either.
They're taking all
The
our friends away, Tanya.
I know all the evil people we love.
We want the evil back. They're like, no, 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 no. We only budgeted for one evil. You guys get the dark one this episode, and that is it.
It's enough evil to go around. This battle, man.
Yeah.
First of all, the Trollocs' movements, like the way their bodies move, freak me out.
Yeah,
It freaks me
it's
out a
kind of
lot.
it's a little
Um,
gross.
yeah, and they're so terrifying. I liked that both the men and the women fight.
Hmm.
He's like the men are gonna go out into the field and the women are gonna hold the city down, and I like that. When they were calling all the women who can channel, I don't know why I expected to see more than like 5 people,
Then
but
it's a
that makes
pretty big
sense.
city.
It makes sense
I
that,
mean, wait, no, sorry, I forgot where we were for a second. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I guess,
Shinar. Yeah,
yeah, I
it
guess
makes
that people would have been sent away, no, if they could
right,
channel.
and then there's people like Lady Armor, what's her face, who
Mhm.
can channel and was a novice but did not become an Aes Sedai.
It wasn't good enough, as we could see, because of, we'll get to that later.
Did you like the eyeless we got in the episode? Yes, they're so scary. Oh my god, they freak me out too. More than the Trollocs' weird jerky movements, the way their mouths just open up
It's
and
just
then you
like
see
open
all
to
those
the
teeth.
razor teeth. Ugh.
Yeah, and then the fact that they have no eyes, that's, that's some freaky shit. Um, it kinda made me wonder, seeing the ones walking ar those were Fades that were walking around with Pat and Fane, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so it kinda makes me wonder what the pecking order is because I felt like the Fades were
Hmm.
kind of, like, higher up in charge, but maybe they're just only above the Trollocs because Pa it seemed like they were following Pat and Fane and he's
Yeah,
calling the shots with them.
who had the worst wig
Oh,
ever?
his wig.
Oh my
He's like he
god.
looks like that picture of, Kermit with the curly hair.
Oh my
Do you know
god.
what
I
I'm
was
talking
thinking.
about?
I was. Yes, I do. It reminds me of when of in Martin where he plays like I forgot what the guy's name he plays. He wears that wig.
Jerome.
Yes.
Pat and Fane in the hat and ass. God, he was
Oh
so
man.
deliciously evil.
And
His
he's
his
so like
little
casual
speech.
with it. Like, here's my scarf.
Like, so did you guys think us coming to your little shithole town to sell lanterns? Like, do you know how much I
Everywhere,
spent on gas and you thought I was gonna come sell
you
lanterns to
know?
poor people? And it's like, damn, you right. Shit.
He's like, I hate where you live, but you just happen to all five of you be there. And I was like, oh, okay. So everybody, and I love his speech because he was like, it's about balance. You're gonna be dark friends, there's gonna be a light people, and poof. Like that's what balance is about. You guys are not all gonna be fighting for good.
But he points out that they're Tavern, they're an important part of the wheel, and that there's only like one or two a generation, and this time we get five in one village.
Yep.
Like he knew so much more than like
He got like
everyone
more
else.
information from him that we did than the whole series.
Yeah, and you know what else? It shows that, the Dark One's doing his homework because um Moiraine, this is her first time going there. And Pat and Fane, the way they know him, he's been going there
Mhm.
for years.
Yeah, he's like a family friend. It's bell time, he's gonna be there. He's gonna like, sell you shit, come with the
Right.
goods.
But like
He's
he's been
he's
coming
he's
there
there
for a
like a.
really long time,
Mhm.
waiting to see which one's gonna be the dragon. Like they had such a head start on Moiraine.
Oh yeah. So it's like, well,
Because
how did you know so much more about? Well, I guess I need to know the prophecy to begin with.
hmm
But how do you know so much about the prophecy? How are you plugged in ways that the one person or the two people who are like specialized and you know searching for the same thing as you like don't know as much?
yeah.
Although it didn't seem that he was sure like who the dragon was either. He just knew it was one of them.
But he at least knew that there were five people in this village who were Tavarin.
Yeah,
He knew that much. And Moraine didn't even have that info until she got there.
yeah.
How come baby Huey just stood there? I was waiting to see him get loose. Well, you see, he was following the way of the leaf, which does not help you in a battle. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Baby
I
Huey,
choose
huh?
violence. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not a pacifist. I choose violence.
It's your
There are
time to fight. Go fight. And Loyal was like, listen, all right, bro, if you're not going to get out there on the battlefield, then go
I
ask what
love
you can do.
Loyal. He's just
Oh,
yeah, he's like,
R.I.P.
in my experience, if you don't know what to do, the simplest thing is to just ask. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, dude, parent, stop crying, go
Uh,
ask. You're all
I don't know
upset.
what to do. The way of the leaf sucks. I don't want to fight, but I can't sit still. Think, go do something. Oh, it's like a kid saying that they're hungry and there's food in the fridge. Like, hello.
Yeah, I get like he wants
Oh,
to be
string.
nonviolent now. Hmm?
Who is this? That scene was probably written for Matt. String theory. Elaborate. I don't know what you mean.
It illustrated the dumbness of the way of the leaf in a world where Trollocs and Fades exist. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree
I
with
mean, he's
that.
a conscientious objector. He's like, the shit's fucked up, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna fight myself.
it's one thing to decide to not go fight some lord's war against some other
Mhm.
lord. I get that, you know. Um it's another thing when there are Trollocs and Fades coming to kill you and everyone
And
around
you're a
you.
wolf person of whatever the fuck you are.
Call some wolves. I don't think he knows how to do that yet.
Warg, bitch, warg.
Yeah, it's like I yeah, I get it in the sense of not joining
Oh,
some lord's army. The actor
okay.
for Matt left after a COVID break in filming, so that's why he's not in the last 2 episodes. Yeah,
Hmm.
we've heard that he's not returning for the next season. I don't know, like, the background behind it. So, I mean, I'm assuming there is going to be a Matt, just not this actor.
Daria Naharis.
Oh god, I hope they don't do it as that bad. That was just the worst.
I know. I wish just do him justice. That's all we ask.
Yeah. But yeah, this Way of the Leaf, it's just
Hey, Alicia.
it's just not gonna work in this situation. I mean, and Patton Fane knew how to get under his skin. He says to him, one little push and you turn to the dark. And he
Mm-hmm.
knew. Oh, we also didn't get our theory that Perrin's wife was a dark friend that we were
Oh yeah,
hoping
not
for.
yet. Maybe that'll come in the next season. Or I hope it's not a ball dropped that, we find out later.
Because I feel like Patton would have probably said something.
Yeah, he was given like the villain speech. I wanted more.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe next season. Well, I'll still hold on. I'll keep my tinfoil hat right here next to me and hold on to the theory that she was actually a dark friend working
Yeah,
with Patton Fane somehow. I don't know.
maybe. Oh, I would love to see that flashback.
Like him converting her to the dark side.
Yeah, something like that. Like maybe, I mean, if he's like a traveling merchant and he comes to town, I'm sure that at some point after that kind of a journey, you're gonna need business with like a blacksmith or,
Mhm. Mhm.
whatever. And I could see that being an easy opportunity to
Right,
exchange
he's
information.
sitting with her in the smith having conversation, talking about the
Mhm.
balance and slowly getting under each year a little bit more and more while she's really
Grooming her.
young. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, grooming her from, like, young. I
he's
like
been
that,
coming
Nikki.
around.
I like that.
Yeah, he's definitely his guilt has still got him
Perrin's
immobilized.
guilt.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's the entire reason Perrin is turning to the Way of the Leaf is because he accidentally
Mhm.
killed his wife. He still feels extremely guilty about it. I
Mhm.
mean, imagine I would too if I accidentally killed my husband with an axe that I'd feel pretty beat up about it and try to choose nonviolence. Um, but I just, I don't know. I just feel like if I saw a fade, I'd start swinging. But I don't know. I've never seen a fade. So who knows how
Never
you'd
seen a
react,
fade.
right? I hope I
Probably
don't
vomit
ever.
and shit myself.
Well, yeah, that's probably that shaking, vomiting, crying.
Yeah. My fear reaction is to vomit. I can't. Oh man. I'm very excited. This is so fun. Um,
They dug
yeah.
up the horn of Valaire, which we know that the last dragon has to blow in battle. What did that remind you of?
The horn. I can't remember, but yes, the dragon was dragon bone horn. Okay. The one that crazy book you're on blows,
Yes.
or get someone else to blow
Right, to burn
for
out their
him.
lungs.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of too.
Ugh.
The horn to wake,
I
know.
just love it because I love that all of my fantasy series and interests are like they're like cross-pollinating in this wonderful world where like, oh, I know exactly what that means. Aha, this
Well, a
horn,
lot of it
wait
is
for it.
inspired by Robert Jordan. You
Hmm.
know, remember
It's
the
so
first book came
amazing.
out like 1990.
What was I
I'm
reading
gonna
back
read
in
them.
1990? Yeah, I'm committed. I've opened it.
I was reading R.L.
I'm gonna read
Stein
it.
in 1990
Oh yeah, me too. That and
and
what's her name?
Babysitter's Club
Yes, Babysitter's Club
and
and
Sweet Valley
Sweet Valley
High.
High. Hey,
I wish we had known each other then.
me
Oh
too.
man.
We would have been book bays back
We
from the
would have.
beginning.
Ah, that'd be great. Ren chose the light, which I imagine we all expected, right? We expected Ren to
Hmm.
choose the light.
He kept choosing
Um,
right over and over again.
and then we also find out about what a sangreal is, the thing that they use to channel into. The little like
Figurine.
the opposite Horcrux.
Yeah. But so where did Moraine get that?
I don't know. I guess maybe she's had it with her all this time. Maybe she picked it up at the tower and just kept it with her.
Like, is this part of this part of the plan with her and the Tamerlane seat like this? Because Rand asked her. He's like, "Listen, stop fucking around. I know that you have a plan within a plan within a plan within a plan. Like, let us know what exactly is going on. What happens when we get there?" And she's like, "Oh, well, here's this little token, and you're gonna like channel your. I know you've never channeled before. I'm not gonna teach you, but
Oh
this
yes,
is what you
that's
have to
it in
do
episode
to get
1.
it in there."
We did see it in episode 1 when she's first getting dressed and like dramatically throwing on her coat. She does pick it up. I do remember that.
Oh, I don't remember that. Is it
I
reusable or rechargeable? Very good questions.
hmm. And there are other sangreals I remember from the book, so it's not like
Hmm.
that's like the only one. There are other ones. It's like a thing they use. What did that remind me of?
Besides Horcruxes?
Yeah, besides opposite Horcrux, it reminded me of something else. Oh, because I've been reading the Grisha verse books. Shadow and Bone reminds me of
Right.
the things that they use to enhance their power. They have like charms and things. That's what it made me think of.
Can you highlight Alicia's comment?
That kind of made me mad about Rand, though. Now you choose to recognize the brilliance of her plan makings. I think this is the one time she did not have a plan. Because I
Interesting.
think that at this point, she did not know what was gonna happen. They don't know what the Eye of the World, what it used to be. She doesn't know what they're gonna encounter, and I think
Oh, I did love that moment where she said that the Dark Friends had been destroying like all their
all the
knowledge about what it
records,
was, like what the purpose it used to. Oh, sorry, and
which
I thought that
means
was
what?
amazing.
There are dark friends in the tower.
Mm-hmm. All right, Blue Aja, looks like you're fucking failing. What if the Dark Friends are Blue Aja? That's where I would recruit from if I were
That
the
would be the
Stone
smart
Clan.
place to recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Recruit. A bunch of spies, right? She was going there to die. Yes, she was. There was no plan after this. I mean, maybe she thought this was going to be the last battle, but yeah, I don't think she
Mm-hmm.
had like a set plan. I think this is
Wait,
the
so
one time
mhm. I was gonna, well, then I was gonna say because Rand asked her like, did it hurt to leave land behind, and she doesn't
she didn't
respond to that.
answer.
So if an Aes Sedai dies and their bond is masked, will their warders still go mad with grief?
I would think so.
Can they still feel it if they can't feel the bond? Because he did say that he feels that she doesn't want him to follow and that she wants to
Right.
go alone. But like how intense is this
And
masking?
he must feel something if the bond is masked. It's not that the bond is broken where there is no more bond. He can just
Mhm.
tell. It's like, like when somebody's talking and you cover your ears, like you can't tell what they're saying, but you know that they're still talking, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's like that where the bond is masked, but there is still a bond and there's still something there. I think he would still feel her death.
Hmm.
I wonder if it would be just worse because it's masked.
Yeah, because you can never find them.
Oof.
But Nynaeve was like, listen, I didn't track you. Your
And we
girl is
finally find out because
sloppy.
remember, we've been wondering how she tracked him,
Yeah.
right? We've been wondering that, like, how did she track Lan? And even he's shocked, like, how did you track me? And it's like, okay, I didn't track you. I tracked Moraine. I thought she was
Mm,
gonna tell us what the tell was. I kind of wanted to
yeah.
know.
I think we have to wait for that. We didn't earn that this
Yeah.
season.
Just let that siren finish.
Hmm.
Crazy in Brooklyn tonight, huh?
Boxing Day is lit. I don't know what to tell you. Hmm. Let's see. It does not cancel the bond, just a muffling, and he probably wouldn't feel it, but the absence would still be unbearable.
Right. That makes sense.
There's a lot of love there. I
I
mean,
wonder what
and I thought about. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because she can't touch the one power, what does that feel like for him as well? Because he didn't know she couldn't.
No.
So it doesn't seem like it changed their bond.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know.
What does that feel like for him? You
Well,
know, if an Aes Sedai gets stilled, what happens to their warder?
that's such a good question.
Because I feel like that's basically what the Dark One did to her, right? Like he stilled
Yeah,
her.
he stole her. But it makes me wonder, like, is this always and forever still? Like, what happens to Moraine now? Because I remember in the Legend of Korra, where she I forgot the guy's name in the first season, but he took her powers away, her bending powers away, and eventually, see people making like secret mouth closed emojis and shit over here.
Yeah, don't actually tell us.
Don't
Let
tell
us
us.
just
Let me speculate based on my other interests. In the Legend of Korra, she gets her powers back. So I'm not
Yeah,
suspicious.
I mean, it's the first season. Moraine seems very
Yeah.
important. I think she's gonna get her powers back. Um,
Hmm.
I just don't know how. Let's see. As far as the rules of channeling go, I think that it's hard to tell because the show has gone in interesting new directions compared to the books. Right. It's changed
Right.
a lot because there's again, I only read the first 3 books, but so much is different already that I'm not even going to attempt to, you know, tell you what's going to happen because I have no idea.
Yeah. And I
Um
agree with Alicia. I think she's too important not to get her powers back.
right, yeah, she's going to get them back. We just don't know how. Just like
Yeah.
we knew she wasn't gonna die of a fever in the first 3 episodes, like she's something's
Hmm.
she's protected by plot armor right now, right?
Apparently, so is Nynaeve.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that battle. That part of the battle.
That was really cool.
I
I
loved seeing her
actually,
in her dad's armor.
it was awesome. I just like it's just so well designed. I love all the like little separate plates. Um, and she came out like the sun. But I was worried about her from the very beginning. I was like, well,
Mhm.
he's not wearing it, but you are, and there's only was like 5 of you holding hands to protect it, and I know that you're like you failed basic training, like you didn't make it through to become an
Right.
ICS. So now I'm very worried. And it wasn't until I saw her just like being consumed by that crack hit of the one power that she got to be like, oh my God, this is not going to work out well for everybody. She doesn't know how to control it. Oh, I was so worried. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we
I
see
was
why
I
she
was
didn't
rooting for
make
her
it.
until I wasn't. I was like, oh wait, but she's like, I can't let go. Oh no, but
Yeah,
it's why.
I had this moment of hope for her that she'd do so well that, maybe the White Tower would give her a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Nope.
then we see that she doesn't have the control.
No, she doesn't.
When the first woman burned out, I was like, "Oh, this is Min's vision." Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's oh, that was
It was,
rough. I Because when you think about it, like she's the only one out of any of them who've ever even been a novice. So like these are such weak channelers. Like they are
yeah.
not
Like
Aes
the first
Sedai.
woman, yeah. Oh my God. She was just like, this is done. But the
But
two
we
of them,
have these 5 women, 4 who've never even been a novice, and they took out tens of thousands, 10 to 20,000 Trollocs with just their weak power. Can you
hmm
imagine if they had had the backing of the Aes Sedai in that
oh
moment?
my God, that would have been amazing. And I did love watching them all the trolls get like destroyed by lightning
Just like
almost below.
exploding. I'm gonna highlight this
Yeah.
comment from String Theory. The one power is addictive, stimulating effect. Channelers who draw too much of the power onto themselves can kill themselves or render themselves brain dead. Right, she talked
Oh
about that
crap.
in the story where she talks about the queen of
Right.
Manetheren because
Yeah.
she used the one power to wipe out that Trolloc army, but it killed her. She completely burned
Right.
out. And now we know really what that looks like.
What that looks like. And you got the hint of it in Min's vision when you see, and then you're like, oh, wait a second.
And we
This is
almost saw it with Leandrin
yes.
when they were
Yes.
trying to stop Logain. Her face
Mhm.
started to light up.
Mhm.
2 of those women were Nynaeve and Egwene, both up there with the most powerful channelers ever in the book series. That is true. What I meant is that they're not practiced and they're, with women who she said, even if it's just a trickle. So it's women who can kind of channel, but they're not Aes Sedai. And the Aes Sedai are like
Yeah.
practiced, especially the blue Aja women, they're practiced warriors who know how to use this shit. And the damage that they did with the five of them, I just can only imagine what it would have been. I'm sorry, not blue, green Aja, if they had had like
Mhm.
the green Aja behind them.
Oh man. Oh, that would have been so dope.
But I was sad to see her go. I was sad to
Mm.
see her go. Um,
I was
I found her far
sad.
fiercer than her brother.
Um, hmm. Fiercer, yes, but I don't think. I mean, I had no attachment to her, so I was like, well, you
I
tried.
I I
Good job.
didn't have
You saved them, and it's cool because I like to see people explode by lightning. It's something you don't get in Marvel, where people are like actually being blown to pieces. So it
yeah.
was very graphic in that sense. But I wanted more for her. I wanted her to like emerge victorious from this battle and not be just
Yeah,
consumed by it.
I did too. I wanted her to survive. Um I wasn't particularly attached until she was saying that Tywin's Gap wouldn't hold, and then they did their tap, and then I started getting kind of like feelings. And then once I saw her come out in her father's armor, and she just had a handful of women who can just kind of channel and still managed to prevail. I was really rooting for her, but then she couldn't stop,
Yeah.
and it made me sad.
It was like sticking
Um,
your finger into an electrical
yeah,
socket and not being able to let go.
yeah. Um, the last part of the episode when that ship pulls up,
Can we talk about triggering my worst nightmare?
being
Which
on the beach when a
besides,
tidal wave comes.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm,
It's like I have the worst. It's like it used to be tarantulas that were the size of like, high rises, but now it's tidal waves. So it hurt a lot to see that. I was like, oh my God. But then, the way that it ends and it cuts out, you're just like, well, did this girl channel because she's threatened by it? Like, does
no,
she
I
save
think she
herself?
drowned. I think she
You think
drowned, hun.
does she
I'm
drown, or
sorry.
is she like in touch with the one? Because this is a dangerous situation. Save yourself.
Oh, here's a comment. Not sure if it's clear, but Amelisa was the one in charge of the circle directing the weaves. I really liked it because it showed she was skilled, adept, but didn't have enough power to be a full sister. Right.
Who is Annalisa?
That was the lady,
Which
the
one?
Lord's
On
sister.
the boat? On the Oh, okay. I was like, the one on the boat? Sorry, confused. Got it. We're here. Again.
Yeah. I had forgotten her name. I think that's what he's talking about. But yeah, yeah, that little girl drowned. I'm sorry. I the seeing the women channeling. I actually do know
I'm
what they
sorry, Alicia.
are.
Mhm.
Actually do know what they are, so I'm not my lips are gonna be zipped on that one.
Okay,
But I
thanks.
wanna know what you think about it.
Uh, I don't know. Like for me, I was like, oh, did Essos come to play? Did they give some sort I was like, because obviously this is an army of channelers from somewhere else. Like, are they there to join the fight? Are they there to like which side? Whose side are they on? Because clearly they're attacking a village or a beach of some sort of society that has no idea like they were coming.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't know if they're good or bad. I don't know. I did also start listening to the fifth season today as an audiobook, and it like also reminded me so much of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, we didn't tell anybody where to find us. We're gonna wrap up. Probably should have led with that, right?
Right.
Um,
Hey, like do the things.
do the thing.
Do the things. Oh, I did want to say about Rand that I was happy that I wasn't. I was sad to see him go, but I know he's doing the responsible thing, which makes
Uh-huh.
me wonder, like, what is life like for him now that he one has touched the one power, two knows he will absolutely go crazy, and three is going to be in the blight on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on the Blight by himself. That seems awful. and he said that he felt the madness immediately.
Sorry.
Hmm.
Alicia said the Water Nation has joined the battle. Oh, yes.
Ibi Ali, we're going to be talking about the fifth season on January 16th.
Set your reminder.
Set your
We'll be
reminders at
here.
3 p.m. for our book club, Wine on an Empty Stomach. So if you have
Oh,
time, reread it and join us, please.
yeah.
We'd
We're
love to
so
know your
excited.
thoughts as
We love
well.
that book.
Oh, the lady told Moiraine in the spa that ships were going missing in the west. Yes, the short-haired lady.
Oh.
And she was going to investigate it. Dun dun dun.
Ooh.
They were so spooky. I want to know what you think about that.
I mean,
Just give
they're giving Maori vibes. Maori vibes.
oh, the face
Like,
tattoos.
yeah, like women warriors. I just don't know what their motive. I don't know if they're there for good or for evil. Like, are you coming to purge the world? Like, you know, they seem like they know exactly what's going on.
Mm,
Um, they came with a mission, so I don't know. My friend
okay.
told me that the ships were rude, but I don't know what he meant by that.
Well, I won't tell you the parts that I do know. And also the show could
Okay,
change what I know, so who knows.
who knows? But
Um,
by then I'll be read. I'll be at least one of the books down because I got a lot of other reading to catch up with.
yes, like the fifth season. So, January 16th, join us for Wine on an Empty Stomach here on YouTube, youtube.com/a thousand eyes on one podcast now.
Mhm.
Follow us on Twitter, Thousand Eyes One ONE, Facebook and Instagram, A Thousand Eyes and One, and all book club stuff is Why Not an Empty Stomach. But if you go to Thousand Eyes Podcast, you'll see links to everything. We'll be
Oh,
back here to talk about the fifth season. I'm really, really excited. The fifth season is
mm,
literally the reason we started a book club, and we
yeah.
held off on covering that book because we wanted to do a few other ones first because it was very quickly turning into an NK Jemisin Stan book club, and we were like, all right,
Oh
we got to
yeah,
talk about other books too.
100%. Who else do we love? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
got it.
just like I'm like 2 chapters in, and I'm just like, oh, this reread because I haven't read it since the first time that we read it, and it's
Really?
just like no, I haven't because I've been, it was Broken Earth trilogy, and it was Game of Thrones, and it was like
Yeah,
all the other
it's a
things in
lot.
between. Then it was Stormlight Archive came in
Oh,
and changed my
Stormlight
life.
Archive. I still need to read Mistborn, so I'm gonna
And the
finish.
The Fountain series by Jeff
I need
Wheeler.
to finish uh Valerie Valdez's book, the
One
sequel to
second, I'm
Chilling
gonna.
Effect. The title's not coming to me right now, but I'm in the middle of reading that. I'm gonna finish that first, and then I'm gonna reread fifth season again. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna actually read the physical book or if I'm gonna listen to the audio book. I don't know yet. I'll decide sometime this week.
It's a
But
heads or tails for me. I started listening to the audiobook today because I was like, oh, let me just get it. And then I realized that the hard copy of my book hasn't returned yet. So I have to read
mm.
on Kindle, which is fine. But
So
there
my
was
hard
something
copy
about
is
turning
signed,
those
so I don't read
pages of
it
that book.
anymore.
Oh, mine is too, which is why I need them back. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, mine is signed, so I put it away. So I only read it on Kindle now. But I have the
So good.
audiobooks as well. It's so
Oh,
good. Please do come join
oh my
us. We
God.
love
Please.
talking about
Yeah.
it.
It's
Um,
such an
we'll
amazing
we'll
book.
do another episode at some point with we'll bring Melissa back, right?
We're
And we'll
doing
talk about
bonus round.
yes, we'll talk about the animated content. Um,
And maybe, just maybe, we'll do a season recap.
maybe just maybe
Maybe.
we'll see.
We'll see.
But
Probably.
it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks guys for joining us and for joining in the chat.
Yeah.
And no spoilers, but answer our questions in the comments. Feel free.
Please.
And again, join us January 16th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I don't know if it'll be fun, but we really like the book.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Ibi Ali, there's going to be a fifth season TV show or movie at some point. Yes, she sold the rights. And I believe
Mhm.
she is going to be writing for it as well. Like she's going to be heavily involved, which is absolutely what I want. Her other
Mhm.
series, 100,000 Kingdoms, was also picked up. I forgot by who, but that was picked up as well. That's another good series. Maybe we'll cover that. So I won't get
Yeah,
into that
and then
yet.
yeah, and I was gonna say, and then our first book club book, like our cursed book, Who Fears Death.
Who Fears Death? That was also picked up. It has not been it's been in production for ages. I
Yeah.
mean, we've also been in a pandemic for 2 years, so there's that.
Going on 3. So stay home and stay healthy, people.
Please
Mask up.
mask up, be safe. Habarigani, happy Kwanzaa, happy Boxing Day, Merry Christmas, happy Festivus, joyous Festivus. And we'll
Mhm.
see you guys January 16th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So read up, join us. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.